Making money is easy. It's so fucking easy. It's ridiculous. You are going to fuck it up. Like everybody else that ever does it and fails, they are the problem. But the weak-minded individuals are going to say, yeah, well, he didn't teach me this, or this thing didn't do what it was supposed to do. This indicator didn't plot it right here, and this, everything's this, that, thing. It's against me, and it's all rigged, and therefore I can't do it. It's rigged, and you can do it. That's the difference. I don't know why you people are arguing against me that there isn't an algorithm. It is absolutely an algorithm. It's advantageous for you to understand that, and when you do know that, it has parameters it has to operate within. It makes it more likely that what you think may happen is likely to happen versus some random bullshit that's going to come out of nowhere. I'm not saying that there can't be those types of things, these black swan events or over exaggerations in a market report or a data driver that comes out like 8:30 news embargo lifts and something comes out, red report, maybe an orange level report that comes out and it becomes a little bit overzealous in its delivery and price. That's intervention. That's manual intervention. You don't know when and how, what degree it's going to be impacting the market. That's the risk. That's the risk. Even with my stuff, you don't know. I don't know when Brett's going to pull up and say, hey, you know what, ICT, I saw your fucking commentary, and guess what we're going to do today? Right? The other direction. But then eventually comes and goes where I want it to go. But that one day will change everybody's minds. That one day, that one little fluctuation in price. It might be a couple hundred handles, but eventually it goes where I want it to go. See, short term is intended to upset sentiment. That's what it's there for. These lower time frame fluctuations, that's not randomness. That is absolutely not randomness. It's all going in a specific manner to upset the current sentiment. And also, if there isn't any clear, discernible sentiment where it's obvious, in other words, what do I mean by that? Where the market collectively is expecting it to go down or is expecting it to go up. They'll use these short-term intraday charts to cause these real dynamic dives lower or rallies higher. And then what you'll do is you'll see that and say, oh, well, shit, I was probably wrong. Let me change course and go the other direction. Watch the YouTubers that do live streams. Listen how they talk. Watch their body language. I love that they have the courage and the balls to get out there and do that, because it's a wonderful human experiment to study how often they can convince themselves that they're absolutely right and they're wrong as shit. They are not paying attention to that aspect of their own trading. That's what holds them back. They're caught up in trying to be a YouTuber. They're trying to be a celebrity instead of someone that sits down in front of the charts at a specific time, knowing that the setup's going to be there. Wait for it. Don't anticipate it. And let me say it differently. Don't get ahead of it. We have to anticipate it because we're not reacting to shit. But don't try to get ahead of the setup. Don't think, oh yes, it's going to be I can trade and know there's going to be a fair value gap. I've done it before. I've told about it. I've shown examples of it in my executions. I've literally done it. But you don't need to have that. Oh, you're an asshole for not teaching it. You'll learn how to do it from experience. Reading institutional order flow. You'll know it. You'll know when that gap's going to form. You'll know where, when, and why. But see, you aren't giving yourself the chance to discover that stuff. Some of those things that you're asking me to teach you, they're things that you're going to acquire from your own exposure by doing the very thing that you're trying to avoid. Think about that. It's a paradox. You think it should be this, when I'm telling you it's not that, it's this. It's literally going in there trying not to make money. Read price. Try to know where price is going to go, why it should go there from a higher time frame perspective, and submit to that idea all week long. Think about it. I've been trading a live account, folks. It's not demo, it's live. And I tell you where I thought the market was going to go and what the bias should be. And I only execute in that direction. I've done so to show you that even though it might go up 200 handles for the day, and you really, if you ain't in that first part of the move, you've missed 90% of it. I can fade that and stick with my bias. Oh, wow. So what you're saying, ICT, is do the work in trying to find and determine where the bias is. Stick to trading with that model. Accept the fact that if I'm wrong or you're wrong and you get stopped out, it's part of it. But you can still find profitable trades even in up closed days going short. That might happen unplanned. You don't see it coming. And that's all part of your learning curve. But over time, what's going to happen is you will get yourself aligned with the larger, higher time frame order flow, weekly and daily and 4 hour. If you trade in that direction, where is the market likely to draw to next? Where's the liquidity? Where is the inefficiencies? If you think about price like that, from weekly, daily, 4 hour, do most of your work on those charts. Spend most of your time in those 3 time frames. If you filter out the trades in those directions for where the next imbalance is or liquidity, and then you use these 1 to 5 minute or less time frames within the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, or 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, the respective AM session, PM session, and London session, your silver bullets are easy. They're easy, folks. You're wrestling with all this other shit. You're trying to bring everything in to a discussion. Like you can't form fit everything I've ever taught and pushing in every single fractal and price action. Every little portion of price movement, you're trying to take everything I've ever said about price and finding it in that one fractal. When it is what it should be is that you're taking a model, a run on liquidity, a displacement, a retracement back in to inefficiency with a lower level objective for sell side, while the 4 hour or the daily or the weekly, preferably all 3 are in agreement that there's something that's going to be reached for on the lower side. That, my friends, is a lead pipe sense trade. That means you're going to walk in there like you're holding a lead pipe and you're going to bash this motherfucker upside its head, and it's going to pay out, and you're going to be able to shake it down, and you're going to go on your merry way. And you're not going to feel any pain. It's going to be a low resistance liquidity run. It's going to be quick. It's going to run right to your target. It's going to have very little drawdown. It's going to fuck around. It's not going to meander around. It's not going to consolidate. It's going to go right to your shit and be done. That's the type of setup you're looking for once a week. That's the shit that gets you out of work. That's your fuck you money. That's the thing that changes the entire trajectory of your life. And nobody can do shit to piss in your cornflakes because you can tell them to go fuck themselves and there ain't nothing they can do, say, or anything to change it. Every week, every day, and it won't fucking stop. That's where I'm taking you. That's the direction I'm pointing to. That's what you're trying to do by learning all this stuff. Not, I want to trade the fucking Reaper. I want to trade the silver bullet on this. I want to trade the optimal trade entry on that. And I want to do this. And I want to. What the fuck? I have all that stuff, yes. But every day when I sit down, I want to go in and find a specific setup. Now, if I see something that jumps off at the time, oh yeah, I'll take that. Why wouldn't I? If you walk down the street and you have $100 bill on the sidewalk, you're going to pick up? You're going to say, fuck that, I ain't picking that up. I'll let somebody else get that. That's trash. But I'm going out there on a specific day with the intention that my one specific model I want to wait for, I know it's going to be there. See, you don't know that. You don't know them intimately enough. You haven't spent enough time with it. How well do you know your spouse? How well do you know your significant other? Some of you that know them very well, you can finish their sentences. As much as I hate that fucking shit, my wife will sometimes finish my sentences for me. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't like that. But that just goes to show that she knows me. She knows what I'm going to say. And I know before she said, I'm not going to say it out loud because I can't stand it, but I'm finishing all of my kids and her sentences before she finishes them. I know what she's going to say before she says them because I can read her face. What does that mean? I endured. I endured the relationship, all the ups and downs. Okay. I went through the process of being a good husband. So therefore I understand her. I know how to read her tape. Okay. Well, how's this market any different? You have to be around it enough. You have to give it love, and it's going to slap you around. In the beginning, it might cheat on you because you're not giving it enough attention. That's just the way it is. But you have to stick to it. Show the market that you are faithful and you're going to be monogamous with it. You're not going to give up to the sports on the weekend. You're going to study the charts. She wants to know she's loved. Okay. In deference to the ladies, he wants to know that you love him. Price, when you internalize it like that, you make it meaningful. You have a relationship with it. The markets are going to be much more meaningful to you, not adversarial. Now, some of you are laughing and are saying, oh, this guy's bullshit. But how many times have you said, this fucking market, fuck you? You give it the finger. You personified it there too. But what have you done? You vilified it. And now your subconscious sees every time you push that button, it's going to hurt you. See what's going on? But you never look at it that way, do you? No. Nope. Nobody's writing books like this. Nobody's sitting down and making YouTube videos about this because it sounds silly to the average person. To the lay audience, it sounds nonsensical. But we're human people. We're creatures that have emotion, and you have to wrestle these things. In finding profitability, you have to go through all this bullshit to discover what makes you tick, what pisses you off, what gets your juices flowing, what makes you hot and ready to do whatever the hell it is, and you're recklessly going out there and taking any risk. What happens if you find where you mess up and you learn to dial back your risk or don't trade at all? And you find where your model is perfect for you and you're comfortable accepting the higher level risk. I'm not saying risk high, but let's just say, for instance, your highest threshold of risk is 1.5%, and you only trade that 1.5% on those instances, and you've learned that this is what constitutes the proper alignment for that because you have done it enough to know that this is really a good setup. So you don't know what a really good setup is for a silver bullet. You don't know yet. And if you're saying you do, you don't. You just learned it. You have to spend time with it. And you also learn how it'll be an integral part of learning how you can pyramid in larger moves. Some of you are discovering your model is the silver bullet. I have students that have already entered the trade at a higher level, and they pyramided in, and then they're adding one more in that fair value gap that's the silver bullet, because they know once it leaves that, Elvis has left the building. If you're not positioned, you missed it. You are chasing price then. Does that make the silver bullet trader only entering there inferior to the other traders? No. And if you think like that, you got to ask backwards. You need to pull your head out of your ass. That's not how you should be thinking about it. What fits you as a trader? What fits you? What fits your unique perspective on looking at price? And in finding a way to turn that into a cookie cutter. And the market and price action delivery every day is the dough. And you're just going to take your cookie cutter model, silver bullet, optimal trade entry, whatever, and you're going to press it in at the right time. And you're going to pull off, and it's going to look just like you want it to for you. Do you take a star cookie cutter and press it into a rolled out sheet of dough, cookie dough or whatever, and you press it down into that dough, and it's shaped like a star in your hand, and you pull it off, and it looks like a square, or it looks like a triangle? Are you expecting that? No, of course you're not. Your expectations are when you pull that cookie cutter off that dough, it's going to look like the star, or very close to what the shape of that cookie cutter was. You trust it because you've pressed that into dough times before, dozens, hundreds, thousands, whatever it is. You're not putting any thought behind. You know, when you do this, this is what's going to happen. That's what your trading will become. When you have a model that you stick to, that you've found that fits your unique personality. It doesn't complicate things for you. I have PD arrays that are extremely complicated that you'll never learn, but they'll make you fucking millionaires. Now, let me backpedal. The silver bullet can make you a millionaire. The optimal trade entry can make you a millionaire. Breaker can make you a millionaire. I gave you some retail nonsense earlier with the 9 and 18 moving average. When they're up, last 2 weeks or so on the daily chart, first fair value gap on the daily chart, when it trades into that, go on lower time frames, use the opening price, wait for the trade below it, then go back above the opening price. The very next fair value gap, buy that, reverse it for selling short. I need an indicator. I don't know what bias is. There you go. It's done. There ain't anything out there that's retail shit that I can't go in there and make it work like Swiss timepiece precision. Because I understand price. They trust their indicators. They trust this flawed logic. I don't use flawed logic. I don't. And I've proven it. My students are proving it to you. They're coming with the real money. You're going to come with your own receipts with real money. How long is it going to take for you? I don't know. But I know it ain't going to be less than 6 months. Not consistently. Some of you can go out there and watch a video and say, oh yeah, silver, let me try it tomorrow. Try to get a funded account, pass it, get a funded account, make money with it. Might even get a couple months doing it. And then what happens is you think you figured it all out, like it happened for me. And then something will happen. You'll have a loss or a string of very small losses, which is normal in this business. It's normal to anticipate that and expect it and think nothing of it in terms of ruin. It's not ruin. It's a tax. That's all it is. It's a tax. A trader's tax is taking small losses, and they better fucking be small, because if they're not small, you aren't doing your job. You're overpaying in your taxes. You only need to pay your legal amount of taxes. But like most people, they go around and they claim zero on their income taxes. And they give the government a 14 to 16 month fucking loan, interest free. And they get that money back as a tax refund. And they say, yeah, ooh, yeah, I got some money. You could have had that fucking money every week. But you ain't sat down and figured out what your deductions really should be. And it's an easy thing to do. It's worth it for you to sit down with the CTA and say, hey, this is what I earn. This is what it's going to be. How can I claim exemptions to where I got the maximum amount where I don't have to pay any taxes? Think about it. What would that $35 or $40 more a week do for you today? Never thought about that, did you? You got money. You got money to go into your gas tank, but you're giving it to the government in overtaxation all year long. But you're submitting to that because you think that that's a fucking bonus for you surviving another work year. I'm going to get my refund like they gave you something out of their own pocket. They're giving you your own fucking money back. I got family members that go nuts when it comes time for that. I'm like, what are you thinking? You could have used that money and fucking stopped working. What the fuck are you doing? But people are going to do what people know, what they're trained to do. Everybody does it. Claim zero. You don't want to have to pay any taxes at the end of the year. Even if you had to pay a couple $100 and you did the maximum legal